John Doe owns a house. I then call some company in New York, Alibaba, real estate, whatever. Then they send out an appraiser to do a curbside or a review from the street. Once again, the owner still lives there. This is not a bad scam at all. But keep in mind too, you know what happens with the people that own that house. I mean, they're screwed. Hey, this is Matt Cox, and I'm here with John Boseak, and we are looking at articles for fraud, for title type fraud, real estate type fraud, and I'm kind of dissecting the articles and seeing what the people did to try and pull these scams off, or what I would do to pull them off. And I appreciate it, so check this out. And
all right,
let's see what happened. What's this
one? This one is from the Daily Business Review, which I'm not really sure what kind of...
Definitely title fraud, though.
Yeah. Okay. A senior citizen in Coral Gables has 2 properties in the same neighborhood that were fraudulently listed online for sale. Not going to get away with it. 3 arrested in South Florida Zillow deed scam. The scammers allegedly posted elderly residents' South Florida properties on Zillow to lure unsuspecting buyers. 3 people were arrested Thursday in connection with an alleged real estate deed scam targeting South Florida homeowners. Aventura Title Insurance Company, Trans-State Title Insurance Agency, LLC, claims it was scammed out of $230,000 after someone posted as Shirley Gibson, an 86-year-old Coral Gables woman, and fraudulently sold her property to Ali Development, LLC, a company in New York. The title insurance agency said it will pay back the full purchase price to the buyer. That's it. That's it. Very short article.
Hey, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon account. If you're interested in joining the Patreon account, it's got 3 tiers. The top tier, you actually get a different con man painting every single month. If you're already joined and you're already supporting me, I really appreciate that. If you haven't joined yet and you're interested in joining, I'm going to leave the contact information for Patreon in the description. Thank you very much for watching the video. Back to the video. Okay, so here's the thing.
Break that one down. That's basically what you were doing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
It is, but here's the problem. So when they mentioned the elderly person, so first of all, if I want to sell a property, there's multiple problems with this scam. Typically, if you buy a house from somebody, you go and see the house. Mm-hmm. So you have to go in there. Well, if there's an elderly person or anyone in general living in the house, then how am I going to go in and take possession of the house and buy it?
It was also said that it was sold to an investment group out of New York.
Which means that they most likely
bought it sight unseen.
Right. Now, here's the thing. There are these companies out there, and they used to advertise all the time. They're not doing it now. But
J.G. Wentworth and fucking...
Oh, yeah, J.G. Wentworth. God, I remember I used to see those.
I remember we'd be in the TV room and fucking you'd be like... they're tempting me.
That guy was taunting me. So, yeah, they would buy houses like sight unseen.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is there are companies out there still. They don't really advertise anymore. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't seen the advertisements. But I used to see them all the time. Mm-hmm. And what happens is they go in and they will send an appraiser, or they will buy the house based on just a comparable. They'll do like a what's called a drive-by review, mm-hmm. or they call them.
They'll send an appraiser out.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to even go in the house. Typically, they go in the house. They measure. They write down. Sometimes they don't even have to go in the house.
Go in the crawl space. Get on the roof.
Right. So let's say a house in this neighborhood. I find out who owns it. That's not hard to do. I get the address. I go to public records. I find out, okay, John Doe owns a house. I then call some company in New York, Alibaba, real estate, whatever, mm-hmm. and I say, hey, listen, I own this property. It's a rental property. The people that live in it, I'm currently evicting them, or they pay rent, but they're always slow, and I'm just tired of the house, but they're real jerks. They won't let me in to put it on the market or anything, but I understand you guys sell the property. And they go, yes, we do. And they said they do a desktop review. Then they say, you know what? Based on our desktop review, we'll give you $200,000 for the property, even though the property is worth, let's say, $260,000. They're going to give you about 20 to 30% less than what it's worth. So it's worth, let's say, $250,000. We're going to give you $200,000. And you go, gosh, I really need the money. I feel like I can get more than that. But this guy's got 6 more months on his lease. Oh, man. Okay. Then they send out, but you can't send an appraiser. He's not going to let you go in. That's fine. Then they send out an appraiser to do a curbside or a review from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the owner still lives there.
What if they come out and ask the guy what the fuck he's doing?
Well, he's probably just going to drive by and take a picture. He's going to get all the measurements off of online.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go to the county appraiser's website and get all the dimensions. Because he's not saying it's a full-blown appraisal. He's saying it's basically a drive-by appraisal. And it's actually a term.
Oh, man, you know what? I remember when I was a kid, I was living, and some guy stopped in front of our house and took a bunch of pictures of it. And I ran inside all fucking concerned and told my mom that. And she said, no, it's the owners of the house. They're just selling the house.
Or
whatever.
refinancing it.
Yeah.
Not just, even if the person walked out, keep in mind what the appraiser knows. All he knows is, look, Alibaba told me to come take pictures of the house and to do an appraisal. Why? We didn't order it. Ma'am, I have no idea. For all he knows, they're doing every house in this neighborhood. They're going to buy the whole neighborhood. Or maybe they're just doing a perspectives of buying up the area or building other houses. Like, I don't know. It could be for any reason. He could be doing it for the tax appraiser.
And also the home could be a rental and the people are just renters and they don't know what the fuck's going on anyway.
Absolutely. But let's assume it is the person living in the house. Like, everybody thinks, oh, they have to go in the house. No, they don't. Mm-hmm. So now this person now I've called, and this just like this person did, they called, and they're saying that they're the person that owns a house, and they schedule a closing. They then check public records. There's no mortgage on the property. If there is a mortgage, then they have to pay off the mortgage. But most likely they're saying elderly. Lots of elderly people own their own homes. Mm-hmm. So people are like, oh, you're targeting the elderly. This person is probably not targeting the elderly. They're probably targeting someone who owns their own home because they're more in danger if they own their own home outright. They don't have a mortgage. So now we schedule a closing. All this woman has to do in the article, or all I have to do in the article, or in real life, is go to the closing with a fake ID. I go to the closing with a fake ID, and I sign all the closing documents to Alibaba. Alibaba probably has the title person at the title agency sign for a power of attorney. Nobody's flying down from Alibaba from New York. They're just signing. Mm-hmm. So they got a power of attorney. They signed, they sent down, they signed it. So the person at the title company is probably signing for them. So they sign it. I sign. They issue me a cashier's check, or they say, we'll wire the money someplace. And I have the money wired wherever I want it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I go, if I have a fake ID, probably open up a bank account or a corporate account in my name. What do? You go and you buy diamonds, or you buy gold, or you buy Bitcoin, or you buy whatever you want to buy to launder that money. Or you put it in the bank and you slowly start pulling money out.
Yeah. And you could buy gold through wire transfers now too.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew a guy that used to get wire transfers. He owned it was a precious metals company. He said, people used to wire him $80,000. You know what he used to do? He would get the $80,000 and he would mail it through FedEx to the people.
Yep.
Sometimes he said they typically had to sign, but sometimes.
Do you know how much gold moves through fucking FedEx?
It's ridiculous.
I know.
And literally, he told me a story one time where a guy had bought $80,000 worth of gold. He said 2 weeks later, I got the wire, I bought the gold, I had the gold, the dispensary mail it to him through FedEx. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, the guy called him and said, hey, when are you going to send me that gold? He goes, what are you talking about? He goes, hold on. He called the dispensary. They said, no, we sent that like 2 weeks ago, like the day after you sent us the wire. Mm. He called him back. He goes, you didn't sign for it? He goes, no. And he goes, and they checked and it said it had been signed, he said, I didn't sign nothing. And FedEx. So they don't, you don't have to sign anything. If they think it's secured,
they'll leave it in your door.
Right. Yeah. And he said to him, how do you typically go in and out of your house? The guy goes, through my garage. He goes, go to your front door. He went to the front door, and it was leaning up between the screen porch.
Oh my God!
And the door. $80,000 in gold had been sitting there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, look, remember FedEx got busted because they were having oxycodone shipped to parking lots where somebody's sitting in a parking lot and FedEx would show up. Like, that was the address of the parking lot. Some guy would be standing next to his car. FedEx would pull up and be like, hey, you go, yeah, you got a delivery here? And they'd give him the delivery right then. When it was like oxycodone.
FedEx doesn't know what's being delivered.
They don't have a clue. They don't care.
Yeah.
So, and FedEx got in a lot of trouble for that. They were like, well, you're delivering oxycodone to parking lots.
I was in jail with a guy who worked for FedEx. He told me a story about how he had the package was going overnight from someplace in California to someplace down here in Florida, and he knew by the weight and where it was coming from that it was marijuana. So he opened the package and he just filled it with fucking phone books or something like that to give it the same weight, resealed it, and then sent it onto the address. And he said it was like 4 or 5 pounds of fucking marijuana.
And what are they going to say? Hey, the marijuana I was illegally shipping through FedEx.
Yeah.
It didn't get here.
The dude's going to be like, this is phone books, motherfucker. You ripped me off or whatever. Yeah.
So what ends up happening is wherever that money went into that account, they just have to get it out of the account, okay, and disappear.
Yeah. And that's like the most dangerous part of the whole operation.
Showing up somewhere or trying to
cash a check or get the cash, right?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, the most difficult part.
Because even the bank's going to be like,
look, the most difficult problem or thing is in this scenario is getting the fake ID. That's it. Like getting a notary stamp, that's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Like getting like half the stuff here, like okay, putting the house on Zillow or the MLS or for sale by owner or Craigslist, like that's a joke. Anybody can do that. A 12-year-old girl can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of this stuff going to public records and getting a copy of the deed, that's a joke. Like everything's a joke except for getting that fake ID. And if you have a decent Russian website where you can get fake IDs, some of them will rip you off. We've talked about that. But some of them give you the ID. For $300, you can get a decent fake ID.
Mm-hmm.
Go open up a corporation or a bank account or in a corporation, or just open up the bank account in your own name.
Yeah.
What does it matter? It's not you.
Yeah.
So this is not a bad scam at all. But keep in mind too, you know what happens with the people that own that house. I mean, they're screwed.
Yeah.
Like people start now. You got Alibaba trying to say get out of the house. They're sitting here going,
yeah.
What are you talking
about?
about?
Well, said the title company that they scammed, they're going to pay back all the money.
They said they pay it back. That's right. And sometimes they do. Sometimes the title company balks.
When it's like a straight, obvious fucking,
fraud.
We got fucking bamboozled. It's on us, not the homeowner, really. And that's really,
Here's the thing: that sometimes
it's like that. That's the ethical way. Well, when you're dealing with fucking scumbag companies.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes they'll put
the
up
ethical thing to do is to make it right with the homeowner, and you accept the fucking fact that you got fucking swindled.
Hey, if you guys didn't know, I also do paintings, and if you're interested in a painting, I'm gonna leave my contact information in the description beneath the video. Back to the video. Well, I mean, the thing too is that people don't realize like title companies have a ton of money. Like those companies make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
People will see like, look, you can research title. So it's almost impossible for them to have a claim. So everything you're paying into them is almost like 97% profit. They have very little. So if they have an issue, they should just pay it right off. Yeah. But a lot of times they don't.
Let's go to court.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think this is also an obvious fraud. And I also think probably because of the publicity.
Yeah.
Thing is, listen, people will stick you if nobody knows about it, especially corporations. But the moment there's publicity on it, suddenly they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna do the right thing."
Yeah,
no,
you're
of
right.
Course.
Yeah. Now that it's all in the news and everything,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, hey, do me a favor if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, hit the bell so you get notified of videos like this. Do me a favor, leave a comment in the descriptions. I try and or in the comment section. I try and respond to all comments, and share the video to all of your friends and family. And I appreciate it. And see ya.